Villarreal update with me, Jamie Campbell, brought to you by Villarreal USA. Today we're looking ahead to Sunday's clash with Almeria at home at Estadio de la Ceramica. New era starts for Villarreal with Pacheta taking over from Quique Setien, who was sacked last week. Pacheta, the former Valladolid manager, and if you want an in-depth dive on that appointment, check out our last video. But today we'll focus on three things we want to see from Villarreal against Almeria this weekend. Just a little bit of context. Almeria have put up a good fight in most of their games this season. They lost 3-2 to Celta Vigo last time out, but they've only got 1 point this season so far. It's likely to be a difficult season for them in this campaign, but Villarreal are not that much better off, only with 3 points so far this season and losing the rest of the games, picking up just one win. So this is what we want to see from Villarreal this weekend. The obvious place to start is with the new manager, Pacheta. What can he do? What can he install in the few sessions that he has this week ahead of Sunday's game? He was only appointed earlier this week. He only got to work earlier this week with his new players. He hasn't had much time to install his new ideas. He has said that he wants to work more in line with the club's style of play, but he will obviously put his own kind of stamp on the squad. We're expecting a kind of man-to-man press. That's what he's used at other clubs. So it'll be interesting to see if he'll get any of that kind of defensive structure. We are likely to see a more defense-based game under Pacheta compared to Quique Setien, who was kind of all guns blazing at times. So will we see anything new from Pacheta? That's the big question. And what I'd like to see is at least something, some sort of small inkling of what we're going to see from Pacheta. Although, of course, it's going to be difficult for him to do that, and we'll see what he can come up with ahead of this game, or whether, or at least it'll be interesting to see how long it takes him to really get his stamp on this squad. The second thing I want to see, and I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but Aissa Mandi. Yeah, I know he's been a disaster in the past for Villarreal at times. One of the strange ones, a bit of a question mark. He signed on a free transfer of doing so well at Betis and came in and really struggled at Villarreal. But Setien got the best out of him in the second half of last season. We actually saw some impressive performances. The reason I'm saying this is, well, the first reason is pretty obvious. The Villarreal have been a defensive disaster for most of this season. But secondly, we've seen what Gabia can offer. I think he's been pretty average so far. We've seen Cuenca, who's been particularly poor, very rash in defending, and a big concern for Villarreal. Raul Albiol, we know what he can do, although we haven't seen much of him this season through injury. So it's time for Aissa Mandi to get his opportunity. He probably is a little bit slow next to Raul Albiol. That is a concern, especially with Alfonso Pedraza out on the left through suspension. But I do want to see what Aissa Mandi can offer this season, where he's at with his fitness, where he's at with his performances, because we've already seen what we've got from the rest of the centre-backs, and the picture doesn't look great at the moment. So let's give him a chance, and let's see if he can help improve Villarreal's defensive efforts. And of course, this could be a systemic thing more than anything. We might see better from Cuenca. We might see better from Gabia in a different system under Pacheta. But for me, Mandi deserves a chance, and I'd like to see him against Almeria, where it wouldn't be a massive risk for him to play in that back line. And Villarreal, let's see what they can offer this weekend. It's going to be very difficult, like I said, for Pacheta, but let's see what he can do. And the final thing I want to see from Villarreal in relation to the players themselves is a real response now that Setien's gone. We've seen a lot of the kind of bad reports about Setien since the sacking. We've seen that the players had a big role in his sacking. They kind of revolted to some degree because of the way he was treating the players. It wasn't particularly badly, but a little bit authoritarian at times, according to reports. Setien a little bit strict on some issues, and the players didn't like that. And we knew the players didn't take to him from the very off. And that's all well and good, but the players have really got their wish now in that Setien has gone, or at least some of the players have. And so let's see how they respond. They have no excuse now not to kick on under Pacheta. No excuse to continue this poor start to the season. So the third thing I want to see is Villarreal players respond and to show the kind of new lease of life they might feel from moving on from Setien, given they weren't big fans of him across the board, or at least in general. So, there will obviously be a question mark on how they respond to Pacheta, whether they like playing under him as well. But we need to see a response from them, given they're at least partially responsible for the poor start to the season and significantly responsible probably for Setien's downfall as well. So those are the three things that I want to see from Villarreal against Almeria on Sunday. Of course, let us know what you think on Villarreal USA on Twitter, on the website, and in the YouTube comments as well. As ever, we'll have coverage of the game before, during, and after. So don't forget to head to Villarreal USA for all the latest coverage of Villarreal in English.